What is happening? This is Jason from Jason C's band. I'm coming at you for audio blog number 5 for the Jason C's band website. And basically, I came up with this concept, or actually, I'm sort of copying this concept from one of my favorite artists, Bob Schneider, who does something similar. But the reason that I decided to do this like he does is because he's a much more original person than me, though, is because people always ask me how I write my songs, or where my songs come from, or what my songs are about. And it's always something that I'm not good at talking about in person because I have my own social anxieties and introversion that I battle with, and all kinds of things like that. But so this was just an opportunity for me to talk about that, because apparently there's at least some level of demand out there for these stories. And so, and if I look, I've done 4 of these so far, and from the number of people playing them and listening to them, it looks like it's something that gets people engaged with our music. So I thought I'd keep doing it. I personally enjoy doing it. So um, anyways, that's the idea. Let's see what's current with Jason C's band. The biggest news we've gotten recently, we are going to be playing the Vashon Island Strawberry Music Festival on the main stage on Sunday, June 22nd at 4 p.m. That is a festival I have wanted to play for a really long time, and for one reason or another, either because they didn't invite us or because we couldn't make it happen, well, I haven't gotten to do it. So this is definitely a bucket list show for me. I'm super excited for it. Vashon Island is an amazing place, and this is an amazing event put on by Vashon Events. So it's a cool event. I'm super stoked for it. If you want to make it out there, it's super kid-friendly. Really good music, good musicians, fun things to do. So I highly recommend you take your Sunday off and come out and jump on the ferry right by my house down here at Fauntleroy, and go out to the Vashon Island Strawberry Music Festival. Let's see what else. I just released an acoustic EP last month. It's doing pretty well. If I look at the data points on it. It was definitely a departure from what I usually do. I normally do stuff with my whole band that's kind of rock and moving and grooving, and this time it was just acoustic, just me in front of a microphone, and then I brought in 2 of my favorite people in the world, Adam Williams and Danny McMahon, to play some different parts on it to make the songs a little more interesting and a little more entertaining. But the basic idea was they're raw. They're all acoustic instruments. There's very little processing or studio magic on them. Been really into this kind of raw, honest musician thing lately. I don't know why. I go on kicks. Don't know how to explain it. So those are the 2 big things that have happened for us. So yeah, the song I chose is a new song. It hasn't been released, hasn't been recorded. In fact, we've only played it a couple times as a band at practices. I just wrote it. I've been on a little bit of a writing kick, which is exciting for me when that starts happening. I thought I would talk a little bit maybe just about like how I write songs. People ask me that sometimes. This is a song called "Play the Hand," and so basically what I do, it's kind of weird. I have this like running conversation via text message with myself. I text myself, and so anytime there's like a idea, or I'm listening to NPR or whatever, hear it on radio, or my girlfriend says something, or anything, or I hear something in another song that triggers me to write about some concept. I'll text myself like little one-liners. And it's pretty funny. Like, it actually reminds me of that old episode of Friends where Ross has like a near-death experience, and he calls himself on his answering machine, and he's like has like a moment with himself on his answering machine, and of course the other friends hear it and make fun of him and laugh at him, and it's funny. But I kind of have that same thing going with myself, and I'll write myself just little one-liners that are like concepts that I have piqued my interest, or that I think might make a good song or whatever. And here, I'll bring up, let me see what's on my phone now, just to give an idea. So that's kind of where like the concepts come from on my phones a lot. Let's see. So here's my running conversation itself. Lately, I've texted myself, "We're all wishing for something perfect. Don't remember where that came from. I Don't Want to Say a Prayer. Don't remember where that came from. Last Man Standing. Maybe that's an idea for a cover song. Anyways, the point is they don't all become gems. Actually, most don't become gems. But most of the time, I just forget what the concept or the premise or the context was that I texted myself that for in the first place. But anyways, the idea is that I shoot myself these concepts, and eventually one sticks. And the other thing I'm sort of always doing, like whether I'm sitting in front of the TV or hanging out talking to friends, like I always have an acoustic guitar in my lap, and I'm like noodling around all the time, and eventually, like, it seems without fail, like a chord progression or a riff or something will stick. And basically when those two things come together, when I'm like working on a chord progression in my head or a riff or some sort of a song structure or something on guitar, and then I've also got a concept, I'll usually like sit down and just start writing, and I'll kind of write lyrics while playing at the same time. And I would say probably 90% of the time it's not stuff I keep. Most of the time I just crumple it up, throw it away, and start again the next day. But every once in a while one sticks. So that was exactly how this one came about. It's called Play the Hand, and basically the concept is how do I say it? Like, we're not all born into a level playing field, and so like the key line in the whole song is you got to play the hand you're dealt. And it really piqued my interest. In Seattle, we have a huge homeless population problem, and so we drive down the freeway or whatever, and you see these kind of very sad scenes with trash and these homeless encampments and stuff, and it just made me think. And in this country, I think we sort of strive for equality of input, and we should. We want to strive for everyone to have equal opportunities, equal opportunity to succeed. And for sure, there is some level of self decision making and self responsibility that goes into the fate of people's outcomes. Like, for sure, like, I'm not doubting that at all. I obviously the decisions we make have consequences on our life down the road that we can never really foresee. But at the same time, the simple reality is we're just not born into equal situations. The reality is I was born into a middle-class white family in suburbia Seattle, and it's not fair that I got to do that, was born into that, when there's a kid that was born into inner city Detroit, into poverty, and it's not fair that someone was born in Syria into the middle of a civil war, and that person would probably die to be in the kid from Detroit's situation. So the simple reality is we're not born into simple situations. You don't choose where you're born, who you're born to, what your genes are. And I was just thinking a lot about that stuff. Kind of, I don't know what you call him. He's a neuroscientist, really, but he has a podcast I follow. A guy named Sam Harris talks about it a lot in the context of free will. But I've been thinking about that stuff a lot lately, and I think the when you realize that the best outcome is not that you are somehow abjugating personal responsibility, but that it increases your own sense of just sort of compassion, I guess. And that's good. And that's something I struggle with a lot. My natural inclination when I see the homeless encampments is just to say, hey, they're all drug addicts. And I think that that's true in a lot of cases, but you just don't know what situations they were put in or born into or what that drove them down that path. So the idea is compassion. So anyways, this song's called You Play the Hand You're Dealt. Like, it is what it is. It's sort of the idea. Like, you got to do the best you can with what you've been given. And some of us have been given a lot more than other people. So I don't know what the answer is. I'm not making any big claims here with this song. I'm just kind of observing the world around me. And so anyways, this is a new song. Don't know what the final product is going to look like, but this is sort of what I came up with when I was sitting on my couch, and here it is. I always thought I would be a superhero. I Han Solo. Save the day, in the nick of time. Grab a quick kiss without being kind. Always thought I would be a superhero. Mama taught me that I was something special. Mama taught me that God was there on speed dial. If you're a good boy, admit your crime, say your prayers and you'll be just fine. Mama taught me that I was something special. You play the hand you dealt. What else can you do? Gotta play the hand you're dealt. Someone's got it worse than you. Mama taught her life wasn't worth it. Mama taught her to start but not finish. Your grandma's house worked just fine. Grandpa's a creep but asleep at 9. Mama taught her life wasn't worth it. Mama taught her life wasn't worth it. You play the hand you dealt. What else can you do? Gotta play the hand you're dealt. Got it worse than you. Someone's got it worse than you. All right, so that was Play the Hand You're Dealt. That is unreleased music from Jason C's band. Fresh off the presses, or fresh off of my yellow notepad. I haven't even gotten time to type it up and give the lyrics to the band yet. We played it twice as a band and are working through it. It's going to be, I think, quite a heavy beat fest, but I don't know for sure. So I hope you enjoyed the song. I explained a little bit about kind of where the song came from. That seems to be what a lot of people ask me, so that's what I'm doing. Once again, Jason C's band playing Vashon Island Strawberry Festival, July 22nd. It's a Sunday at 4 p.m. on the big stage. The U.S. Bank main stage is what they call it. So we'll be there. Hope you're there. Other than that, please check us out online, jasoncsmusic.com, or you can follow us on Spotify. Would be awesome. Listen to us on Spotify. Check out our new music, including my new acoustic EP, which I just released last month. It's called Writer's Block EP. And you can tell that one because it's got my face on the cover, kind of laying against the drum set. Not sure why I came up with that, but that's what I went with. And other than that, thanks for listening. Please keep listening to our music. Once again, we're sort of a non-profit band. I really have no financial interest in my music other than I just want people to listen to what we've created. We've been a band since 2012. We've made a lot of music. We got a big catalog to go back through, so I'm sure something fits your style. So please check it out. Please check us out. And once again, thanks so much for listening.